Well, hey, welcome back to Movie Community College. I am your professor, Jeremy Bowling, aka Saminder Beaches, and let's roll into a movie review. Um, every weekend I try to watch a Indian film, a Bollywood film, a Hindi film, something from the India subcontinent, Tollywood, Collywood, whatever I can. And this has been the most recommended, I think, movie for me to watch and review to give. And it is on the film Three Idiots. Okay, so when I first became aware of Three Idiots, somebody said, hey, you should do a trailer review on this film. And so I watched the film, or I watched the trailer, I watched the trailer for Three Idiots, and I thought to myself, oh, this looks like the American version of Dumb and Dumber. Okay, I like a slapstick comedy, And so that was kind of just my mindset going into this, is what I'm going to see is a Jim Carrey type performance, but it's going to be an Indian version of it. It's going to be kind of a very one-tiered comedy, probably a lot of laughs, probably a lot of adolescent humor, and we'll have fun with it, right? So I then I go and try to find this film to watch. I can't find it. And there was a great young lady who's been encouraging me. She found a link for me to watch the film, and I say thank you so much for your help. And I watched the film, and this is not at all what I thought I was getting into was a Dumb and Dumber film. I mean, that's what I thought I was. It's not at all what I got. What I got was a layered film. And what I mean by layered film is you think that it's this right here, like it's one thing here, but you go into the movie and there's more, and you get to this point, and you get to this point, and you get to this point. I went in expecting just kind of cheap humor, throwaway jokes that you could laugh and say, yeah, it was okay. At the end of the film, I broke down crying. I broke down crying when you see that scene with the baby. How can you not? When you see what these people go through. So I guess probably because, our channel's watched by I would say, a wide-ranging demographic, culture and whatnot. Let me kind of give you the view of Three Idiots if you don't know anything about it. It is a 2009 Indian coming-of-age comedy drama. And it is probably, I want to say, I read something that it was the highest grossing film in its opening weekend in India, which is amazing when you consider how many great films have come out of there. You see this engineering school, and you see this guy who's the head of the engineering school, who is such an ass, isn't he? The dude with the mustache and the perm. And he is there to systematically beat these people down, right? And it's kind of the adage that if you had, like, when you go to campus, at least it is in the American school, when you have orientation day in American college, and they say, look to your left, look to your right, okay? The person to your left will not be here by the time you graduate. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm in somebody's left, right? So you see this very harsh, this very hard-pushing, driving academia setting that if you graduate from this engineering school with good marks, you can go on and be a leader of industry. That's kind of the pull. And so you see these two characters who I'm guessing at the opening of the film they're not freshmen, because they're hazing the freshmen. They're making them do things in their underwear and run around, and it's kind of hazing. And we see the guy kind of, and again, I don't know everybody's names here. I'm not that familiar with the films yet. I've recognized him in the movie posters. He's typically the middle guy. He's kind of the ringleader, and he shows up to school, and they're trying to haze him. And he wants nothing to do with it, and you kind of sidestep him, and you get this kind of tongue-in-cheek humor, and you see his genius as he quickly makes a cattle prod, and the guy decides he's going to take a piss on him, and he hits the pee with the cattle prod, and of course it shocks him, in his most delicate of places. And that was something I fell out of my chair when I saw that, laughing, because as a kid on a double dog dare, I was dared by Joey Wall to pee on an electric fence, and the same thing happened to me. And it hurt like a mother. It was rough. So I thought right there, I thought, well, that's kind of funny to see that. So we kind of see that when this is where I kind of think, well, this is just going to be kind of Dumb and Dumber. We're going to find the story, but then the story elevates, right? You see the pressure that's put on these kids, right? One is really good at being a photographer, and he wants to be like a wildlife photographer, but of course, the family doesn't want it. You know, you have to go be an engineer, get a degree, so we can have something to brag about. Is kind of how I took it. There's another one of the three whose family is really poor. Dad's paralyzed, and every time they show the family, it's like some bad 1950 throwback, and it was comical. You know, I felt bad laughing at the dad being paralyzed and the mom. Yeah, dude, I mean, it was over the top, and he's weighed down by this, about the fear of the future, and how is he going to lift his family up out of poverty, because they're looking for him as their ticket out of poverty, out of the caste system. And I don't get the caste system, right? And that's probably another video from another time. But you see these three, and then you see the ringleader, and he is challenging everything that comes before him, and he's winning these challenges, even to the dismay of the professors. And you see him just go through these things and challenge how they learn, how they're teaching. You're not really teaching things, and it's like, okay, now it's elevated a second level, right? We hit a third level when you see the pressure kind of fold in on these people. We see the one young man who's trying to make a drone, basically, and he's just destroyed by the professor, and he ends up hanging himself. And we see the suicide. We see one of the three attempt suicide as he jumps off the ledge over the pressure of you know, his expulsion. And you know, yes, he did do some stupid things, but you just see the kind of pressure that's put on these people to perform these characters, and it's just, to me, it's not worth it. And you see them kind of then this movie hits another tier when we're introduced to one of the daughters of the professor, and there's a love connection that happens with the ringleader and the daughter, and you know, she's going to be a doctor, or she is a doctor, and you just see this develop. And then you see the backstory of him. You see the backstory of who is this guy, right? Because the guy who went to school, who just kicked it out of the park and just wowed everybody with his A game, isn't the guy that got the degree. And you kind of see that. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the film. So you get to see the backstory of who the ringleader is and his abilities and whatnot. There is a scene where they're getting kicked out of school. All this stuff's going on. And the city's flooded, and the head of the university is taking one of his daughters who's pregnant to deliver, and they can't move anywhere. They can't get an ambulance because of the flood. And you see the ingeniousness of this ringleader save the baby's life, save the day. And it was a very touching film. There's a great antagonist, the little dude who's the VP, who's looking for the genius with the 400 patents, and you kind of see how that plays out, who that is, and how they were able to, you know, how it all comes together. This was a really, really good Indian film. I mean, I think it was just as good as Hater, if not better, but it's a different genre, so it's kind of hard to compare the two. But this thing, you know, this is definitely, I think, story-wise, and again, and I think this just kind of, this film really kind of just showcases what I love about what I'm seeing in the Indian film industry. To see all the aspects of it. I mean, it was a brilliant Hindi film. I thought I enjoyed the comedy, I enjoyed the laughter, I enjoyed the acting, I enjoyed the suspense. I enjoyed all of it, and to see the ending of the film and how everybody comes back together and how everything is set back into place was amazing. And again, I don't want to spoil anything for you because I could. There's just so much great things in this film. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I would encourage you to go see it. You may have to buy it. It's hard to come across. It's not on Netflix. I didn't see it. It's not on YouTube. I had to get a special link from my girl who hooked me up. Thank you so much. And this film was hilarious. This film was hilarious. I give it a solid A. You know, this is an A movie in movie community college. I think that if I was teaching a course on Hindi films, romantic comedies that have complexity to it, this would be the case study that you break down and you look at. And I think American filmmakers could really do a great job of incorporating, you know, and not just don't give me the stupid throwaway jokes. Give it some complexity. We're fully capable of understanding and following along. And I think this film and the success of this film really kind of speaks to the high movie IQ of the viewers who love it and who recommend it. This was an excellent film. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for recommending this film to me. This and Hater are right up there as my favorites of what I've seen so far. And I give it a solid A. Hey, would you please subscribe to our channel? If you do that, what ends up happening, I got a couple things for you, a couple shameless plugs. Number one, you stay in contact with us. You're able to then see all of our videos as we put them up. And number two, I have something for you. My background is in radio and podcasting, and we're talking about bringing back our internet radio station. And if you go to our website, remnantxradio.com, and you click on the sponsor page, you'll find two icons there. There's two of them. Number one is Facedown Records. Number two is Humble Beast. You can go there and download free music, and that's my gift to you to say thank you so much for subscribing and checking us out. The other thing is, too, I got a video up of, what is good Indian music, whether it's folk, rock, hip-hop, whatever you guys have. Can you check out that video and just let me know, who your favorite bands are and artists? Because if we're able to bring back the internet radio station, I would really like to incorporate just a worldwide open format music so everybody can kind of hear something that they really enjoy. And thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. Peace.